You know, the last few Sundays we've been singing, I choose love. I choose love. Peace in my family, peace in my life is growing because I choose love. Peace in my family is growing because I choose love. Peace in the world, on our planet, is growing because I choose love. You know, I was thinking about that. Do we really get the enormity of that? Are we really committed to choosing love? Because therein lies the work. Therein lies the work, is choosing love at each and every given moment that we are giving an opportunity to make a choice. And we are giving them all the time. I was wondering if I asked anybody to come up here and just stand up here with me for a minute. And I said, I want you to see if you can say this. I totally, without a doubt, love myself. I love every single cell in my body. I love myself. I am perfect right here and right now. I am perfect right here and right now, and I love myself. And I'm just wondering how many might say, well, I love myself, but I can't say I'm perfect because, you know, I need to stop smoking. And I certainly, I need to be less, I'm a little lazy and I'm not working hard enough. I'm not accomplishing enough. And just have this litany of things that we should really do to be I mean, how can we claim that we're perfect right here and now when we know that we have all of these things that need to be improved? And I want you to know that each and every one of those are attack thoughts, and that is not love. When we judge ourselves, that is not love. So we are being asked to choose love, to let go of that and choose to love ourselves exactly the way we are, knowing that whether we're smoking, overeating, whatever we're doing, if we're being lazy, if we're not being spiritual enough, if we're not doing our meditation, we're perfect right here and right now because there is perfection within us ready to emerge. But when we use those attack thoughts, we're getting in the way of it. We're shutting it down. And I was just thinking about, like when we watch a butterfly emerge, you know, like you're looking at the chrysalis, you're looking at the cocoon, and you're not thinking, well, you should be a butterfly already, everybody else is. You know, it's like, let's hurry this up. You're slow, you're too slow. We just know. We know a butterfly will emerge. That's the way we must think of ourselves. We are invited. When we love ourselves, it's because we know that all the good, the gloriousness of us is coming through. It is emerging, it's happening, it's a done deal. And we live from that place. That's love. That's love. So I invite you to check yourself. And it's so wonderful that we have this internal guidance system, right? Because when we're feeling angst, when you're feeling some anger, you're upset, you're feeling those upset, negative feelings, check your thinking. Check your thinking. Because you are looking at something in a way that God does not see it. You are looking at something with attack thoughts. You are looking at something with judgment, with condemnation. And there's where the angst is. And I love the teachings of Esther Hicks through Abraham. She teaches that it's kind of like this. You know, in San Francisco, they have all those huge hills. The streets are just unbelievable, the steep hills. And if you think about a car being at the top of that hill, when it starts to go forward and you're at the top with it, you could almost just step in front of it and stop it. But if you let it go, if it starts to gain momentum down that hill, you better get out of the way, right? So you're no way are you going to stop it. That's the same thing that's happening with our internal guidance system. When we catch that feeling and we go to our thinking and we go, that's not love. That's not love. That's an attack thought. If we catch it quick, we can flip it. We can use our denials and affirmations that we've learned here, a denial in which we say, no, I refuse to think that way anymore. Or that thought has no power over me. And we can then include an affirmation that we know who we really are. We know who we really are. And that was not, we love ourselves through every moment of it. No judgment. If it gets, the momentum gets going, that's kind of what Reverend Sandy was talking about last week. When the momentum gets going, well then, it's kind of a time where you need to take care of some emotion, because we got something going on there that needs attention. It might need to flow through us. We might need to do some forgiveness work. We might need to be able to wrap our arms, nurture ourselves. She gave us that little RAIN acronym, where we're going to recognize this emotion, acknowledge it. The I stands for investigate where it's happening in my body, and then nurture ourselves and love ourselves back. But even when an emotion has gone haywire and our thinking is off, it's still beautiful. It's such a beautiful thing, because we just had an opportunity to do some healing, and there was some emotion, something within us that needed to be healed. So there's no judgment. It's beautiful. Choose love. Choose love in all of it. What you will find, and what I am finding, is that you will fall madly in love with yourself. You really will. And some of you are already finding that. I know you are. And as you do this work, you will be so full of love that you will be able to do that for other people. And there will be many, many, many opportunities to do it, because they just keep coming to you. Maybe it's kind of God putting them there because God knows we can handle it, that we're ready for it. It's an opportunity. So the saying, I know you've heard in the Bible that many are called, but few are chosen. Many are called to this, but few are chosen. But I read it differently in the Course of Miracles. And what it says in the Course of Miracles I love so much, because it said, all are called, but few choose. We are all called to do this work, but few of us choose, because it is not for the faint of heart. It is not an easy gig. It is something that we have to work at all the time. It requires ourselves to forgive. It requires us to stay the course. Use that divine strength that's one of our 12 powers to help us stay the course. It's not easy, but it is amazing. And every time we choose it, we get to live in the joy and the light and the love that we are meant to live in. It's amazing. You will have I've had so many opportunities since I really became committed to this work. You know, one day I was at the freeway and I had just pulled off the ramp, and I was sitting there in my car. It was a long line. You know how you're waiting to move up? Nobody's moving, so I'm sitting there. And I decide to look at a text message because my phone is right there and we're not moving anyway. So I'm looking at the text message. Well, I hear a little nice beep behind me, and I realize, oh, I look up and the cars were already ahead of me. But the car behind the nice beeper was someone who wasn't feeling so nice. And he came up beside me. This was before COVID, thank goodness, because he was spitting mad. He was so angry with me. Every word that you can imagine. I mean, I was called all of those words. And let me tell you, the old Barb Frederick, I have a lot of things that I was afraid of in my life, but standing up for myself has never been one of them. The old Barb Frederick would have just turned right back at him, but something stopped me. And I heard this. It was like it was in slow motion. This is your opportunity. This is your opportunity. You can move up and just hold the love for him, but I think you can do more. I think you can do more. And so I did. So I found myself rolling down, listening to him, rolling down the window, paying attention. Funny how we still roll down the window like this, even though everybody has a button. But I rolled down the window and I gave him my full attention as he's, you shouldn't be on your phone. That's what's wrong with the world, blah, 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 blah. And I listened. I said, what can I take from here? What can I hear? I forgive him for this anger. I forgive him. I've been there. I can have a major hissy fit. I know what that's like. I forgive him for that. What can I hear? And I was able to say to him, you know, sir, you're right. I really shouldn't have been on my phone. I didn't even feel the need to say, but you don't need to talk to me that way. I didn't need to say, but I was stopped to try to defend myself. Because, you're right. I really should never be on my phone. And, I'm sorry about that. I'm going to remember what you're saying. And as I was talking to him, I knew I was choosing love. And I was watching his face as he started to soften and soften. And then, honestly, we had moved up by that time, and he was going to the right, I was going to the left, so we're still next to each other. And he was saying, I said, well, I'm sorry I've caused you so much stress. And he said, no, ma'am, I was just worried about you. I was just worried about, wanting you to be safe. And I just was like so thrilled. I came home. I couldn't wait to tell my husband about it. Like, I just loved it. It was such a beautiful blessing. And as I left him, like, you have a good day. Well, ma'am, you have a good day. And you be safe out there, and so on and so forth. And it just was such a gift. But then, 2 days later, I'm on the freeway again. This time I'm driving, and I'm not on my phone, of course, and I'm driving, and a car comes up next to me, and he's like honking, waving at me, and I'm like, really, God? Are you serious? And I rolled down the window, and this is what this man said to me. He said, you are beautiful. And I was like, I want you to know, I did not for once think it was my beguiling beauty that brought him to my car. I knew what that was a gift. It was a gift. It was a gift from God. It was just a little gift saying, you're doing good, girl. Keep it up. Keep it up. Keep it up. And so I kept it up. And those are the miracles, the little gifts that we receive every time we choose love. Every single time. And when we do it for other people, we can do it for other people. We can hold them. Do you realize when we are doing those attack thoughts on the people that we love, right? I love you, so I'm worried about you. I love you. I want you to have a better life. I love you. I want to fix this for you. I love you. I want you to do this. You need to do this, this, and this. Those are all attack thoughts. That is not love. Catch yourself. Choose love every single time. You will be blessed, and they will be blessed. And miracles come from that work. It comes from that. It could be a small miracle. It could be a big miracle. Last Sunday when I left for church, I came out into my garage, and the shoes were all a mess. We have all these shoes out there, and they get a mess, and I straighten them up. And then I'd come, and they'd be a mess, and I'd straighten them up. And then I came, and they were a mess. I straightened them up. I'm in love. It's not bothering me. So Sunday morning, I went to get in my car, and I'm like, maybe I need to say something to these people, because these shoes are getting on my nerves. But I caught myself, and I said, no, I am going to stay in the love. If I want the shoes fixed, I'll fix them. And I'm sending love to my family, and off to church I went. This is the truth. I came home from church. Not only were the shoes in a nice order, my entire garage had been reorganized, new racks on the walls, things all hung up. It was amazing. And I just take that as a direct, thank you, God. Yes, thank you, God. But it can even be bigger. It can even be, and I know that they say that there is no bigger, smaller in miracles, but I perceive them that way. I know that I do. But in October, a few years ago, 3 cousins went on a trip, and they were in the car together. It was a road trip. And as they were in the car together, they already knew this about each other, but they started to talk about loved ones that they had that had an addiction issue. Each one had a child, actually, that had an addiction issue. And one of the cousins was saying how, it had been years. His daughter had had addiction for 35 years. And he said, there's no way she's going to get better. I've tried everything. We've done everything. I've tried everything. We've done everything. It's just hope. It's just not going to happen for her. And I have to live with that. And one of the cousins was a Unity Truth student. Learning these truths and living them. And that cousin said, wait. No. That thought has no power over you. We have to know our children are coming at the other side. There can be no doubt in our mind. Like we know every night, every day. You know that tomorrow that sun is going to come out. It's a new dawn. You don't hope it. You don't wish it. You don't think it maybe. I hope, I pray. You know it. We had to know it about our children. And we made a pact that day, the 3 cousins, that we would know that for our children and that we would choose love. When the fearful thoughts came in, we would do our work. We would do forgiveness. We would do our feeling work. We would do whatever it took to keep us on the path of love, on the knowing that they were coming out the other side and all was well. 4 months later, the first child got sober. 2 months after that, the one who had been on serious drugs for 35 years got sober. And 4 months after that, the third child became free from addiction. And they are all free to this day. We are talking about years of addiction and 3 people who said, we're going to be a group. We're going to support each other. We're going to love our children. We're going to know, and we're going to stay in the love. And they are all free. How much did this love, how much did it play on it? I know that there was a lot of work done by these 3 children, no doubt about it. But isn't it possible? Isn't it probable that what we did that day and continue to do from that day forward made a difference? I took it as a very beautiful, always to be remembered, so filled with gratitude miracle. That's what happens when we choose love. Miracles happen. You don't do them for the miracle, no expectation. If we're doing them for those reasons, we're off base. That's not going to feel good. It's angst. You're doing it because it's who you are. You are love. You love yourself as you see the glorious nature of who you are come forward and bless this world. That's what we're doing. I have one more. There are so many of these miracle stories because I love them and I'm living them. And then the people that I know and love and all of you are sharing those with us. But there was another one of these that you can really see the flip. One of our congregants was taking care of someone they loved that was very sick. And this person had had a serious surgery and he wasn't taking care of himself. He was not taking care of himself. He wasn't taking his medicine. He wasn't doing anything the doctor said. She loved him. She wanted him better. She did everything she could. She could Joel. She brought the love. She was the joy. She was the cheerleader. She tried and tried and tried, and it was so hard. It was so exhausting because he was not moving. And then she realized, in her wisdom and from these things that we're learning, that what she was doing was not love. It was not love. It was doubting his path, doubting his own guidance. When we're doing that, those are attack thoughts. And we muddy the waters. They can't hear their inner guidance because we're helping make the noise around it. When we step out of it, when we quiet down, when we choose love, which she did, let it go, knowing that he was on his path, that there was this presence of God guiding him every step of the way. She let go of it. And 2 months later, all I can tell you is he's doing better. He's taking his medicine. He's starting to move around. He's even talking about his spirituality. It's her miracle because she chose love. It's his miracle because she gave him the wind beneath his wings. She did her part to help him with his. That's what we do when we choose love. And we can choose it. How do we help our planet? We help our planet by staying in this place of love. When we are complaining and bitching and moaning about what's happening in the world, let me just tell you, if that worked, we would have been in good shape a long time ago, right? That does not work. We are admiring the problem. We are staying stuck with the problem. We are part of the negativity. No, that's our attack thoughts. We've got to stay in the knowing that just like we're emerging as that butterfly, our world is emerging. We got to see what we got to see. We got to love ourselves through it and know that we're coming out the other side, that all is in divine order. We choose love. We choose to know that. We walk in the faith and not in the fear. As Reverend Tom told us, that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. That's what you're called to do. When we're judging others and judging our world, we are imprisoning people and we're making it harder for them to be free. Choose love and you become that key. You're just one more part in their journey that is behind them, cheering them on, bringing them forth, letting them be the amazing person that they really are. So again, Reverend Michael Beckwith told us that it makes us a candidate for a direct encounter with the presence. We're all being called. Will you choose to do this work? If you choose to do this work, you are going to find your own miracles, which lead to revelations, which help you to see that the confidence in your faith because you see it yourself. Don't believe me. Do this yourself. Find out for yourself. That's what Unity teaches us all the time. Don't believe it. Be it. See it. Let it be who you are. The weekly affirmation was simply, I just want to say one more little story because I love this one too. The way that we see our world and the way that we live in our world will be reflected back to us. I was in the grocery store and I've been in a great place. I've been holding the world in love and knowing all of what I'm saying. I'm trying to practice. I am practicing what I'm saying to you today. And I was in the grocery store, and this was like right before they made it mandatory to wear masks. So some people were wearing masks, some people weren't wearing masks. I don't care. That is not my business who's wearing a mask and who isn't. I'm staying in my business. My business is to wear a mask and do what I'm supposed to do and send them love. So I went in the grocery store with that intention. And this is what I experienced. Every kind of human being you can imagine. Every diversity was present that day, I swear. And I am not lying to you. It was like, Bruce is my witness. I always come home and tell him every single thing that happens. And my kids too hear it. I just couldn't believe it. Because it was like, ma'am, did you see the cantaloupes are on sale? And then someone else would go, excuse me. You can go first. And how are you today? And how are you? And I'm thinking, I don't know about the rest of you, but this is the world I'm living in. I literally thought at any given moment that people were going to grab onto their carts and they were going to go, we are family, because it was felt like that. It was amazing. We will see reflected back to us what we give. Thank you for hanging in here with me. And let me just end with this by saying, Kayleen, one of the songs that Kayleen couldn't be here today, as you know, but one of the songs that she played was called You Are the Waymaker. And I know it was written by a traditional Christian artist, and he was singing it for Jesus. But when I heard the song, I knew it fits Jesus perfectly. But it also told me the truth that it fits someone else. Because it says, you are waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that's who you are. You are waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. That's who we are. I know that and I believe that, and so it is. And thank you all so much for listening. I appreciate you so much.